interactions that are in the comment. So if you have any question, put it in the comment. I'll try to answer that as much as I can, and then as well on YouTube as well too. So let's go ahead and start. You guys ready? I'm excited for tonight here. All right, let's go. All right, so you guys ready to hear about the Get Hard system and how it can change your life? Right? Okay, let's go, everyone. So I see Ian. All right. Okay, can everybody see this? All right. Today's webinar is Unlock Your Peak Performance, the Get Hard system to restore performance in as early as 5 days without medication or surgery. I'm Dr. Ann Trung, and I'm a board certified medical doctor for now 26 years. I treated over 7,000 men with ED. I have been on national TV, on CNBC, OANN, Fox, Bravo, and CNN. I teach doctors all over the world, and I speak all over the world on sexual health. I also wrote the best-selling book, Erectile Dysfunction Fix, available on Amazon. And my goal for this web class today is that I want to tell you that the fastest and safest way for you to regain your sex life is through the 6 system reset, and that the effective and natural way to repair your sex life is with the Get Hard system. So I'm gonna stay tuned. I want to tell you all about it. Okay. So who is this for? For men who want to restore their sex life, and for the partner who want to help their men restore their sex life. So does it really work? Well, let's hear from Terrence. He had ED for 10 years. He was married and he hasn't been able to have sex with his wife. He failed Viagra and Cialis, and he tried Shockwave from another clinic, and he tried even Trimix. He didn't like to inject himself, and he went to me as a last option. He didn't want it to have penile replacement surgery. And after the treatment, he feels like a new man. He said he went from a state of being devastated to a state of being ecstatic now. And for Blaine, he is 50 years old and he's had ED for a few years. Again, try Cialis and Viagra. It didn't work well. He went to see me, and the treatment he got was extraordinary. About a week later, the girth and the width and the height just grew and has changed his life. I highly recommend it. It's just amazing. It's like I'm 20 again. Isn't that sound amazing? Wouldn't you want to be like this? Well, disclaimer, this is for those that follow the protocol and want to put in the work to restore their sex life. There are no shortcuts. There's no sneaky or misleading methods at all. And remember, your ED didn't occur overnight. Your ED's been there for years. So I want you to turn off all distraction. I appreciate you being here, and I see all the audience be here as well. So close your social media, set your phone aside, take some note, get a pen and paper. I will honor your time. So stay until the end. I have an amazing bonus for you until you stay to the end. So you are in the right place. So if you've been struggling with ED, this is probably why. Because you've been forced to do it the hard way. You try to figure it out yourself. One day you just notice, oh man, I'm not as firm as I used to be. I'm losing my erection. I'm not in the middle of it. I gotta figure it out. Then your buddy tells you, hey, take Viagra and Cialis. You try to Google erectile dysfunction treatment, and guess what happened? The dispensary pop up. A lot of online dispensary pop up. Say, hey, take Cialis or Viagra. It's kind of like, if Viagra and Cialis is treated like, toothpaste for brushing your teeth, it's like that's the next step. Well, I will tell you why that is not the next step. So you try to Google, you try to read and research, and then you end up taking ED medication on an online dispensary, or you go to your doctor and they give that to you. and you tolerate the side effects because the side effects, it's headaches and congestion and stomach upset, and you even try to get treatment that really does not work. All right, and you're frustrated, and you're like, okay, Dr. Ann, you're just another person that's going to tell me about treatment that didn't work. How do I know it's going to work? How do I know? Well, I'm going to tell you why, because I'm going to show you why the system works and show you why that you have ED. All right, and then you end up wasting precious time and money. So what is ED? All right. So ED, when you have ED, is really not your fault. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it can be confusing and misleading. It's a private matter. I know the internet's more discreet rather than going to see a doctor. And I tell you this, big pharma wants you to take the medication because Viagra make $9 billion a year. 9 billion with a B, not a million. All right. And so now the doctors are pushing penile replacement surgery. You take Viagra and Cialis doesn't work. You take Trimix doesn't work. Well, let's do penile replacement surgery. Well, that's not good enough. You only have one penis, not like a knee replacement surgery or hip replacement surgery. You have two of those. You only have one penis, and we're talking about prosthesis here. And pharma and hospital don't want you to get better because they want you to take medication. They want you to go to the hospital and get surgery, right? Everybody wants you to stay in ED, except for you and your partner and myself, and for the doctors that really want you to restore your sexual performance again without medication and surgery. So let's think about this. What does ED really cost you? Decreased self esteem and confidence? Just think about this. Relationship? How's your relationship? Is it strained? Is it comfortable? Is it loving? Anxiety and depression? How's your health? Do you know that 67% of men with ED have a heart attack in 7 to 10 years? Yes. So, what is ED? It is the persistent inability to achieve or maintain penile erection sufficient for satisfactory sexual performance. All right. So, it's actually a very broad description because you can still have ED and still have an erection. It means that you're not able to have sufficient firmness for penetration. So that it doesn't mean that you're totally impotent. It may mean that it takes longer for you to get an erection, or that you get an erection, or you lose it, or you're just not as firm as you like to be, and it even involving or inability to orgasm or ejaculate because it's defined as sufficient for satisfactory sexual performance. So I know that ED is a we problem. It's a plus one. It is just not you. It is just not your problem. It is you and plus one. So let me tell you my story. This is my husband, Bao. We've been married for 30 years this year. However, a few years ago, he had some heart issues and was taking heart medication. He required 2 stents in his heart. Well, that also lead to ED as well too. And one day, I came home and I walked through the door, and I can sense this gloominess in the room. And I walk up to him, and he just sat there, stare out in space. And I said, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And he said, "I think you should leave me because I am just not the man I used to be. I'm not satisfied with our sex life and how we are at this point. I think you should leave me." He feel that he was a failure in our marriage because he was not able to perform. And even though I knew about that, I didn't know that it was affecting him. And He couldn't take Viagra because he was on some heart medication. And I grabbed his hand and I said, you know what? We're going to figure this out together. Whether we have to walk through hell, we have to walk through fire, we will figure this out together because because I will not lose you. And that's how my journey in trying to seek out natural solution for ED started. Luckily, at that time, I was already doing acupuncture. I was already doing stem cell therapy for pain and for restoring, rejuvenating the joint. So I started diving and doing research. I asked a lot of people, and because of my background with doing acupuncture, I wanted to look at a holistic approach to heal the body and ED from the inside out. So that got me on a journey of exploration and research and discovery. And that's how I discovered the Get Heart system. And I realized that, ED start from the inside out and not, and it is a secondary symptom. It is not a disease. It is because of other causes that's causing you to have ED. And so I started figuring out the solution, and I started trying it on my husband, and then it worked for him. And then I tried it on my family members. It worked for them as well. Started on my patient. It worked for them. And then I taught other doctors on how to treat their patient with the Get Heart system, which I will show you, and it worked for them. So that's where we are now. After 7,000 patients later, I am on a mission to start a sexual revolution to help men and women gain sexual independence and for them to have the best um, intimate life until the day they die, and not with medication or surgery, because we live in a culture where everything is the medication or surgery at this point, and our sex life does not need that. So think about this: when ED happens, what do you feel? When you feel fear, you feel bad, you feel ashamed, you feel disbelief, this is really happening, shock, and you feel sometimes useless, right? And sometimes even suicidal if they've been there for a long time. I know, I lived there and I've been there. So, what's it like living with ED? No morning wood, not getting it up when your partner is trying her best, not getting it up and staying it up, looking at it sleeping while you should be having fun at night. What a feeling that is. Loss of confidence in your performance, anxiety, relationship that's strained, fear of losing your partner, and you have to deal with the medication side effects. You're frustrated because you try other treatment and it didn't work. So the life you want, right? And here's the same. What do you want to do? You want to have a better life, or you want to continue doing the same thing you're doing right now? ED plus a solution equals a happy man plus one. There's always another person involved. No ED equals less stress, less anxiety, less worry, which equals confidence and better relationship. Because all in the end, why is it that you want to get out of ED? Because you don't want to be alone. You want to have you want to have relationship, and you want to feel confidence. You want to be happy. So, what would an ED free life mean for you? Not having to worry if you can get it up this time, right? Not having to take ED pills and be spontaneous. Get more sleep. I delivered this webinar a week ago, and one of the attendees said, "Hey, if I don't have ED, I can sleep more." Definitely, totally agree. What would an ED free life mean for you? Have more confidence. Waking up with morning wood. be rock hard and desperate for the toilet in the morning, have passionate relationship, and not be alone. So no ED means happy life, happy relationship, happy family, and passionate relationship. What does it mean for you? I want you to put in the comment right now. What does it mean for you? You have an ED free life. I want to know what that is. I want to hear feedback. So if you're in social media, put in the comment. We'll monitor that, and my team will put that for me to see in the comment. This is Larry. He said he's had ED again. Took Viagra, took medication. He's had ED for 5 years. And he said, I have problems getting and maintaining an erection. It causes problem in my relationship. And after about 1 to 2 weeks of treatment, I started noticing the difference. 1 to 2 weeks of difference after 5 years of having ED. At the end, I'm going to make you a very special offer that will give you everything you need to have to get your sex life back in as little as 5 days. Imagine what it would be like to have this life, an ED-free life. So there are 3 secrets to getting hard again. Secret number 1, I'm going to show you how to overcome ED with the Get Hard system. Secret number 2, how to regain performance confidence in as little as 5 days. Number 3, how to understand what is causing your ED. So secret number 1, how to overcome ED. Well, the easy way, the most effective and fastest method to fix ED in the shortest amount of time is to treat the whole body. That's how you overcome ED, is to treat your body from the inside out. All right? Because and this is the whole overall system. It's the Get Hard system to sexual restoration. And those of you that are on live in TikTok, I go on YouTube to my channel at Trunk Rehabilitation Center. You can see the slides. Okay, so it's how do you start with? How do you treat ED from the inside out? You have to address the brain, the emotions, the hormones, the nerve, the blood vessels, and the penis muscle. And we'll dive into that. And once you have sexual restoration, you have firm erection for intercourse. You'll be able to maintain an erection to finish, be able to have spontaneous erection, and have the confidence to do it. Wouldn't that be great? And to be the man again, the protector. So the truth is, your body wants to have an erection without ED pills. It is wired to get an erection without ED pills. And you can restore your sex life even if ED pills do not work anymore. So why is ED so common? So before we look at the solution, let's take one step back. Why is ED so common? Because in order for you to get an erection, your mind and your penis have to be relaxed. Yes, you have to be in a relaxed state. In order for you to get an erection, the muscle of the penis has to be relaxed so it can expand. If you're not relaxed, or the penis, when the penis is not is contracted, it's actually when it's flaccid. All right, and there are 6 systems that is involved in creating an erection. It starts in the brain. The brain is the largest sexual organ. Your mind has to be in the right state. You have to be relaxed. And then from the brain, it goes to your emotions. Your emotions also in the brain too. Like what state of emotion are you in? Are you anxious, and are you depressed, or are you distracted? All right. And then next is the hormone that gets released in the hypopituitary and pituitary gland. The hormones are also in the brain. And the next is the nerve. The nerves right here in the back of your neck. That gets stimulated, and that sends messages to your heart and the blood vessels right here. And then from there, blood flows to your penis, and your penis has to be relaxed so that way it can engorge with blood. So because you have 6 systems that are involved in creating an erection, it So what does that mean? There are 6 players on the team, but if one player it isn't up to par, if one system isn't up to par, then the whole cycle just doesn't work. There's a glitch and it just doesn't work. So when you have 6 players involved, there are 6 chances, 36 chances that it will not work. So that's why ED is so common, because it has 6 systems that's involved. And the brain is the largest sexual organ. Now, is that surprising for you? Put down the comment if you think that the brain is the largest sexual organ. When I first heard that, that kind of blew my mind. But then that's how I came up with the Get Hard system, because it really makes sense. If your brain is not ready, if your mood is not ready, you ain't gonna you're not gonna be in the mood for sex at all. So, um, in the U.S., if you are the age of 40 to 70 years old, 50% of you have ED. I don't care what you say. If you are between this age, 50% of you have ED. And 67% of men have ED and they don't know they have ED. Right? So, and in a study that was done in 1994, 30 million men were living with ED at this time. We're almost 30 years out now, and I suspect this will be at least 60 million by now. So, luckily, the causes of ED, 90% is physical, meaning due to poor blood flow to the penis, meaning that the heart pumps out the blood and it goes to your blood vessels and it goes to your penis, and your penis doesn't have enough blood flow. So 90% of it is due to that, and 10% is due to psychological. Look at both of these guys. Which one do you think has ED? The one on the left with the belly, or the one with the 6 pack? Which one do you think? Put in the comment. Put in the comment and let me know which one you think has ED. All right? Let me know. Right? Both of them have ED, in fact. In fact, the one with the 6 pack, right? The one with the 6 pack actually has worse ED than the one on the left, right? And I'll tell you why. It's because with him is more of the brain, the emotion, and the nerve more, right? And his testosterone level is also low. The one with the 6 pack, his testosterone level is lower than the guy on the left. But both of them have ED. So the point I'm trying to make is that the ED is if it's inside. What's on the inside is what's presenting us ED, not on the outside. On first look, you would look at this guy on the right with the 6 pack. You would go, "Oh wow, he's healthy. There's nothing wrong with him. He doesn't have ED." But that's far from the truth. That's why with ED, you need to look at what's going on the inside with blood work, and with our Get Hard system, we will dive into the whole 6 system. So the Get Hard system is a 6 system reset. The Get Hard system treat the root cause of ED, which is poor blood flow, by addressing the emotion, the brain, the hormone, the nerve, the blood vessels, and the muscle, right? The Get Hard system, we do the blood work to look at your whole 6 system. Is it in balance or is it not in balance? We treat the ED by increasing the blood flow to the penis, right? And you end up having the result is morning erection and spontaneous erection when you want it. So the Get Hard system will give you the confidence that you can do it, that you can please your partner, and that you're not stressed out about sex, and you will have amazing sex. So the Get Hard system to sexual restoration, we address the brain, the emotion, the hormone, the nerve, the blood vessels, and the muscle. How do we do that? It's the brain, by teaching you how to breathe better. Do you know that if you breathe better through your nose, that will help you relax? That you know that if you sleep, that will help you also relax your brain as well, and it'll also help with your erection. Those are some of the strategies that we will help you with through our app that is called the Well World app. Number 2, the emotion. Well, you know that breathing will help you feel better, and it calm down your emotion and even sleep, right? But the main part is stopping porn as well. And I don't want to dive too much into this. I just want to give you a big overview that of the get hard system. And then number three is the hormone. How do we treat the hormone? We do blood work. We see if your testosterone level is low or high or not, and if it's low, we supplement it. Also, you sleep. If you sleep well, you can also increase your testosterone level as well. Well, how do we assess the nerve? What the blood work will tell us how the nerve is doing, whether you have inflammation or not, or how do you treat it? We treat it with your own stem cell from your blood. From your blood, we're able to repair the blood vessels and the nerve, and we do shockwave therapy and supplements, and also diet and exercise, a Mediterranean diet, and intensity interval exercise. And then the next system, the blood vessel. How do you repair the blood vessel? With the Get Hard system, again, with your own stem cell from your blood, the platelets, nitrous oxide supplements, shockwave, doing the penis pump. When you do the penis pump, it's like taking the penis to the gym. You're repairing the blood vessel and the muscle, and also do Botox. Botox will actually repair the blood vessels and the muscle. Stopping smoking is helpful, as well as decreasing alcohol as well. So diet and exercise is critical for repairing the blood vessel. And the last system is the muscle. And how do you repair the penis muscle? Is through with shockwave, with your own stem cell platelet rich plasma, and doing Kegel exercises, and using the penis pump and Botox. I am a big proponent of the penis pump. Using the penis pump is like taking your penis to the gym. All right, because when you do the penis pump, it creates this negative pressure, and it brings oxygen to your muscles, and it brings in blood flow, so your muscle gets to exercise, it gets more blood flow and gets more oxygen. All right, so this is Bobby. He's had ED for 3 years, and he went to see us for treatment and got the shockwave and the P shot, and him and his wife are very pleased with the result. So, can you see yourself like this? Can you see yourself be going through the Get Hard system and be able to have a performance again? Well, this is Michael. After the treatment, I am firmer, I last longer, and my wife notices the difference. I can last up to 20 minutes, and my sex lives are a lot more satisfying. I'm very happy how my life is right now. Well, isn't that awesome? Just imagine that. Secret number two, how to gain performance confidence in as little as 5 days. And you're probably thinking, well, you know what? It worked for them. Will it work for me? I'm not like them. I'm not like Michael. I'm not like Bobby. Well, I don't know if it will work for me. I tried this supplement online a few days, months ago. It didn't work. I tried this gadget, and that didn't work. I tried this topical cream that at some of the online, that didn't work. Well, you know what? The reason it doesn't work is because those things are synthetic. Viagra and Cialis are synthetic. It means that it's made in the lab. It is not. It's not. It doesn't belong in your body at all. Your body needs organic, natural substance. It means that it does not belong in your erection response. Remember when I tell you about how you get an erection? It's the brain, the emotion, the hormone, the nerve, the blood vessel, and the penis. Is anything on there says Viagra and Cialis? No, that's not how you are wired. That's not how you are made to get an erection. So when you start so I want you to pay attention to this. This is very important. Every man that I see have ED had tried Viagra or Cialis. Well, I take that back. Not every man. I would say the majority of them. Some of the patients I treat that does not want to take medication and have not tried it yet. So remember, when erection happens, only when your brain and your penis are relaxed. So when you take Viagra, it doesn't help with your then the brain. It does not help with your arousal. It does not help with your libido. It doesn't help with your emotions either. It doesn't help with your hormones either. It doesn't increase your testosterone. It doesn't help repair your nerve. And you take Viagra, the blood vessel, it doesn't help with the blood vessel because it doesn't even open it up. Only thing that Viagra does is that it raises cyclic GMP, which then relaxes the penis muscle that allows it to get more blood in the penis. It doesn't even increase your nitrous oxide. Your nitrous oxide is a natural gas you produce in your body to relax the blood vessel so that way you can get more blood. So Viagra does not belong in your body. It's made in the lab, and and it only relaxes the muscles. So when you take Viagra, it only addresses this 1/6 out of the six system. All right. So that's why after a while, when you take Viagra, it doesn't work because it only addresses 1/6 of the six system. It's like your car, it's not working, it's not starting. You take it to the mechanic, and all you're doing is just changing one of the tires when you really need to look at the whole engine. So when you take Viagra, it's like giving away your manhood to ED medication because it only works 70% of the time. It's synthetic. It doesn't increase your libido, and it does not work if there are decreased blood flow. And you develop a tolerance to it. You keep going up on the dose. It's because your blood flow problem gets worse. And think about this. Does your ED go away when you stop taking it? No, right? So you always need it. So it's a band-aid. It becomes a crutch. It becomes an addiction because you every time you have sex, you feel that you need to have Viagra or Cialis on board. So and not to mention the common side effects as well: the headache, the flushing, the blue vision, the stuffy nose, the dizziness, the back pain, and the upset stomach. And the serious side effect is that you can have permanent vision loss and hearing loss as well. And Viagra, you can't be spontaneous. You got to plan that, and depending on what food you eat too, because that will affect the absorption of the medication. So the easy way and the most effective and fastest method to fix your ED in the shortest amount of time is to get heart system in addressing the sick system and resetting it. So we find out what system is affected, and then we reset all six system with our treatment. And that's what I talked about earlier is, we measure, we don't guess. We do blood work, we do blood flow study, we measure your nitrous oxide, and then the treatment involves the sixth system restoration. So if you want to follow what works, if you want to achieve a result, you need to find the person, the method that is proven to work on others. The Get Heart system has helped over 7,000 men with ED, and there are no side effects because it's all natural. Secret number 3, how to understand what is causing your ED. Remember, how do you get an erection? You get an erection because you need six system to work cohesively and in balance to cause an erection. The brain, the hormones, the emotion, the nerve, the blood vessels, and the muscles. All right. So when you have ED, it's like having a penis attack. So penis attack equals a heart attack. All right. So when you have a heart attack, what is it? A heart attack is when you're not getting blood, oxygen to the heart. All right. And then that part of the heart dies. That's a heart attack. That's why you have the pain. That's why the pain goes down the arm. It's the same thing when you have ED. You're not getting blood flow to the penis. And like that picture showed, there's no dark line. There's no blood flow. So you should, when you have ED, you should treat it like a heart attack because ED is a penis attack because you're not getting enough blood flow to your penis. And ED is the blood flow problem. So on the top picture, you see that, the blood flow is in that big white circle. That's the blood that's flowing through there. And then the bottom picture is when the blood vessel get clogged up with cholesterol, with blood, sugar. It creates this waxy ball that gets stuck to the side of your blood vessel and restrict the blood flow. You see that? You see the white arrow? That's what blood flow restrictions like. So the only way to get your sex life back is to reset the sixth system. So that way blood flow is restored for your erection. So how do you reset the sixth system? Through the get hard system. Remember, you got to reset the brain, the emotion, the hormone, the nerve, the blood vessels, and the muscles. This again said life begin at 80. I want to go on. I want to do it all with sex as often as I can, which is for me and my girlfriend. We do it 3 to 5 times a week. Ed has had ED for 17 years. 17 years. He was with his wife. His wife passed away from cancer. And after a year, started dating again. And that's when he came to see me for treatment because he's been dating a wonderful woman and they want to have sex. And he just cannot get an erection. After 17 years of ED, failed ED medication, even Trimix, and with the treatment with the Get Hard system, he's able to get an erection again, and he's now doing it 3 to 5 times a week with his 78-year-old girlfriend, and he's actually now 87 now, and he's still doing it. This is Terrence. He had ED. His main thing was not able to ejaculate, and he was having ED as well. He's been having this problem for 5 years, and after the treatment, it was very effective. Especially after the first treatment, he was able to maintain a erection and ejaculate. Oftentimes, when you cannot ejaculate, that's related to ED as well as to the prostate. So the 3 secrets of getting hard again, do you think this will work for you? Number 1, how to overcome ED with the Get Hard system. Number 2, how to gain performance confidence at least 5 days, right? Well, that because you can get restoration even if you fail other treatment before. It's because no one has ever reset your body, your sixth system body. Number 3, how to understand what's causing your ED. Well, now you know what's causing your ED, which is poor blood flow, and that you know that it has worked for thousands of other men and it can work for you. So let me ask you a question. I know by now you're probably feeling like this person, like, whoa, that was a lot of information, right? I hope I didn't confuse you more. If you remember one thing from the today, it's that ED is the blood flow problem, and that it can be restored. You don't have to live with ED, right? Just remember that it can be restored, and sometimes you don't even have to have the treatment. You can actually make a simple thing such as changing your diet, your exercise, and sleep, and decreasing your alcohol. That will go a long way. So treating ED used to be hard, but not anymore. Now that we figure out the sixth system to get hard, you just have to trust and have the confidence that this will work for you. So the new way, which is the Get Hard system, we treat and we reset the whole body, not just your penis alone. The Get Hard system to restoration work, and it's worked for over 7,000 men, and we have proven it by this method. We have tested it and tried it, and everything is the blueprint for you to get your sex life back. All right, and we measure, we don't guess. And we also do validated research for the treatment to reset your sixth system. So with the Get Hard system, you can restore your sex life without medication in as little as 5 days. So it's worked over 7,000 men. Remember, you are wired to get an erection naturally. You just need to reset your body's sixth system, the brain, the emotion, the hormone, the nerve, the blood vessels, and the penis muscle. So who would this work for? It will work for when you sometimes you go soft in the middle of sex. ED medication do not work anymore. You sometimes have trouble lasting long enough to climax. Your erection doesn't feel as hard as it used to be. You can't reach orgasm, or that you sometimes have trouble getting an erection. It will work even if you have performance anxiety, even if you have premature ejaculation, even if you have prostate surgery. They removed your prostate and you have ED, and it will work even if you have ED for decades. So you can be confident and happy and sexy in that passionate relationship, or you want to continue the way you are now with ED and just making excuses. Or you want to be like this guy who tried to navigate and try to do it himself on the tightrope and walk, try to figure out how to treat his ED himself by doing research and testing this, testing that. Remember, I tell you there are 6 systems that are involved in creating an erection, and they're complex systems. It's involving the brain and the heart and the hormones and the nerve, and it's too complex for you to try to figure it out yourself. You don't want to be this guy that's on the Facebook group. He asked this question. Anyone else basically give up on trying to fix their ED after finding nothing works for them? I've had ED for over 20 years. I'm now at that point. Just wondering if I'm alone or if there are others in my situation. How do you cope with it? How do you cope with it? What do you do? So stop chasing that magic pill, that shiny object, that cure-all. I hear from my patient all the time, oh, what do you think about this topical ointment? Oh, what do you think about this supplement? That's going to help me with my ED. What do you think about this gadget? To get your erection back, your sex life back, you have to treat your body from the inside out. All right. And when I say the inside out, it's what you feed your body, your diet, your exercise. That's what you have to do. There's no magic pill. There's no shiny object that if you take that pill, it's gonna cure all for you. Unfortunately, it does not work. Don't be like James. He said he's had ED for 15 years. He used Viagra and Cialis until it didn't work anymore. And he said, I tried everything out there, nothing helped. I had a heart attack and then a stroke. I wish I found Dr. Trung sooner. I could have avoided it. The stuff I learned with her, I wish I known. I regret not seeing her sooner. Since I've been with Dr. Trung, I have hope of getting my life back, because he's been trying to do it all himself and he couldn't find the solution. So the Get Heart system is everything you need to get restored again. The success path, blueprint, cater to your needs and your condition. You don't have to figure it out by yourself anymore. It's been tested and proven over 7,000 men. It works fast. And there is a supportive community of men that are recovering from ED in the group. And you have to trust the protocol and trust me. Imagine this. You feel relief. You feel happy. You're grateful. You feel optimistic. Feeling confident. Feel like yourself again. So, is this the right time for you to do something different? To try something new? But when is the right time? How long you live with ED? A decade? 17 years like Ed? How long do you want to suffer with ED? And how's your relationship? Is it suffering too? And are you satisfied with your life right now? I mean, this is the right time to maybe try something new? Do you want to live a better life? Now you have the power to change that. How's your relationship? Well, this is one of the patients that I saw in the group. I feel like I'm stuck. This is actually the wife of someone that has ED. This is the wife. I feel like I'm stuck with being a roommate for the rest of my and my husband's life. He doesn't even want to try the new medication because it could have the same side effect. It's like he just gave up trying. We don't even make out or anything anymore. I'm sure he feels like why bother if it won't lead to intercourse. I hope this is not you. Another wife said this. My relationship just ended because he just felt hopeless. So what's stopping you? Are you waiting until your partner leave, or when? What are you waiting for? Well, you probably thinking, well, I try other stuff. How do I know this will work for me? Well, it's worked over 7,000 men, even in those that fail ED medication, even work in those that have prostate cancer, that has ED. It treats because the reason why it works because it treats the cause of the problem, which is the imbalance of the sick system, and resetting the system again restore function. Resetting the system come from within, not from a gadget or from some supplement. All right, this is one. He said the erection I have now is amazing. I haven't had much like this since I was 25, and I'm now almost 40 after the treatment. So is it worth it? Well, you're asking yourself, is it worth it for me to try this? Well, we have rigorously tested, ensuring its effectiveness and safety. We've done research and we do blood work. You can try cheaper alternative, but cheaper doesn't mean it has the same standard. And in the long run, you may end up spending as much, may cost you even more, and then you're wasting your time and energy. Remember, this is an investment in your well-being, both physically and emotionally, because ED is affecting your relationship, your self-esteem, all right, and your overall life. And can you afford to be alone? Can you afford to lose your relationship? Can you put a price tag on your happiness and your quality of life? And remember, there are payment options. All right, Tim. Tim said, after the Botox and the P-shot, I got a morning erection every single day as opposed to pretty much never. And he's had ED in his 20s. And now he's in his 30s, and now he's very satisfied with his morning erection. So you have to think to yourself and you have to try a new opportunity, which is the Get Heart system, to get a different result. All right, like all my patients. So my mission is to create a sexual revolution. So I want you to join me. So that way, men, you can regain your sexual independence again. So that way, you and your partner can be happy. So my passion is to help 1,000,000 men achieve what I have achieved for over 7,000 men so far. I also promise you an opportunity. So how can I help you? I have set some time this week for my team to speak to you about how you can apply the Get Heart system to reset your sex life. So why am I doing this? It's to help you get out of ED, because I know what a pain it is to be in ED and how it's affecting you, your life, and your plus one. And I know that you can regain your sex life and be happy again, because I've seen it in over 7,000 men. All right. So I want to be able to get focused and reaching your performance fast, and you'll get the exact strategy and how to make it happen. And if you want my help and we think it's a good fit, then we invite you to become one of the new patients we take on. If we work together, we'll walk you through the program that is designed to get you result in as little as 5 days, like our patient. So you will be speaking with my patient ambassador who understand our process, who's been in the process, and know what you're going through. The Get Heart system to sexual restoration work, and it's been proven in over 7,000 men. It's natural, and it can restore blood flow again. So you can have one option. You have two options at this point. Option one, to do nothing. You keep doing the same thing you're doing, you will not get a different result, and live with ED. And like Johnny, this is what Johnny had. After I had prostate surgery. He had prostate cancer. I had ED. I tried Viagra and Cialis. They were not working. I cannot have sex with my wife. And my wife went on vacation and she didn't come back home. And then she filed for divorce. And now I am by myself living with ED. Don't be like Johnny. And my heart feel goes out for Johnny. You can be you can do option number 2. Choose to work with a board certified medical doctor who treated over 7,000 men with ED with success. All you have to do is follow the blueprint to success. You deserve the best life and be happy. You deserve to have that intimate relationship you've always wanted, and you deserve your best life and be happy. There is a way. All right. So, will you let ED dominate your life? If you want to change your life and your sex life, I want you to type in www.edfix.club on your browser right now and know that there is a solution to ED and it's only one phone call away, because when you type this in, it's going to take you to schedule a phone call with my team and you will find out whether we are right fit for one another and we can move forward in changing your life. And to get started, you want to schedule a call at this link at www.edfix.club. All right, and that's how you schedule a call. And we are now opening up some slot for this week and for next week. And you just know that your ED free life is only one phone call away. All right, only one phone call. It may change your life, and it's no obligation. There is no fee for this, and you may come out learning something new that will change your life. And in fact, you do that, we'll give you the recipe for our Good Morning Wood smoothie. And for those that are here with me tonight, my team will take down your name and we will send you actually a gift certificate for a free vacation anywhere in the US. All right. So we'll have your name down, and that's an appreciation for being with me tonight. And schedule that call is at www.edfix.club. And just know that you can get your ED free life. So having said that, I can now take questions. You can type your question in on the comment, or you can raise your hand and I'll bring you up. And thank you for being with me tonight. And I hope you learned something tonight. All right. So, all right. I see Hala, Pippa. I see Haynes and Gerald joining me on TikTok. Do we have any questions? All right. I do see something here. All right, comment from TikTok. How do you get the Get Hard system? Well, the Get Hard system is my treatment protocol that I have created over the years in restoring the your sex life. So how do you get that? Is to go to schedule a phone call at www.edfix.club. So you type that into your browser, and if you are on YouTube right now, you can scan that QR code. At this point, you can scan the QR code, and the QR code will take you to that link. You can schedule a phone call right away, and we can take your call this week and next week. And once we take your call, you can come and see me, and we'll determine whether it's the right fit, and we can get started. Again, if anything, make that phone call. It's no obligation at all, and it's discreet, and you may learn something. All right. So I hope I answered you that question. So if you're on TikTok, I know you can't see my screen. So go to www.edfix.club to schedule a discreet, no obligation phone call. And Okay, hold on. I put my thing on. Very good. So, okay. Oh, Patrick says, I am very grateful for this information. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for being here. Hi, Patrick. Oh, I'm very grateful for you to be here as well too. And I hope to change somebody's life with the information that I gave today. Yesterday I actually saw a patient, and he said he saw me on a webinar. I saw him yesterday, and he saw me on the webinar, and I was talking about Cialis and Viagra, and he heard that, and he's married, um, and he's only 50, and he's been taking Viagra now for like 5 years. He went and grabbed Viagra, threw it in the toilet, and said no more. And he went to www.edfit.club and scheduled time to see me, and I saw him yesterday, and he received treatment. He showed up with his wife. They're a lovely couple, and because of this webinar, he's no longer on Viagra. I'm much appreciative, Patrick, of your being here, and I'm very grateful for your feedback as well too. And if you're on Viagra, rethink about that, because it may change your life, and knowing, hey, there is something out there. You don't have to be a slave to medication, because we live in a culture that make sexuality shameful, that stigmatize sexuality, when it is something so innate to our life, right? That's how we're created. If it weren't for sex, you and I wouldn't be here, right? Right? And sex is wonderful. It makes us feel good. It has so many benefits. It helps you live longer. In fact, it helps prevent even Alzheimer's. It's something we enjoy. It's an innate part of being human, but it's also a way for us to bond with another person as well, whether it's a man or a woman. It bond, and the integral part of who we are as a human is relationship, right? We don't want to be alone. We want to be with in a relationship, and I that's why I want you all to join me in the sexual revolution. Tell your friend, tell your family about this, and let's create the sexual revolution in regaining our sexual independence. That you don't need this pill to help you have sex again. All it is just really taking a step back and reassessing and what's going on. Because when you have ED, it should be a red engine light flashing on in your car. It says, "Hey, something's going on in my body here. Something going on in my sick system here that is not working well. I need to take a step back and evaluate and see which one of the sick system is working. Go do blood work. Go see a doctor. Go do blood work. Just do some blood work, because your blood work will reveal whether you have high cholesterol, or you have diabetes, or you have kidney problem or liver problem, whether you have inflammation, and it can go a long way. So at least do that. Just go get blood work as the first step for me. All right. So Patrick also asked, what about having high blood pressure and diabetes? Okay. Yes. Well, high blood pressure and diabetes contribute to ED. And the reason why it causes ED is because when you have high blood pressure is caused because, imagine like your blood vessel, like a pipe like this, right? Your blood vessel is like a pipe like that, right? And I'm just gonna just leave the banner there. So blood vessel is like a pipe, and then over time, that pipe that used to expand out like this, it becomes inflexible. It does not as elastic. It doesn't open up as well. So when it doesn't open up as well, that's what caused high blood pressure, because the blood vessel, which is like a pipe, it's not expanding. It's kind of like stiff. So that's what causes the high blood pressure, right? So when you have high blood pressure, it's a sign that your blood vessels is not elastic enough. It's not expanding enough. So that's what's causing, that's going to restrict the blood to flow down to your penis. Does that make sense? All right, that's exactly what high blood pressure is, guys. High blood pressure just means that your blood vessel, which is a pipe, is not expanding enough, so it's more pressure in there. It's kind of like a water hose, right? When you hold a water hose and you just kind of clamp down on it, the water pressure comes out more, right? Because it's going through a more narrow hole, and the water pressure, and it changes the amount of water that comes out. Right? So blood pressure and diabetes. What diabetes does is, because diabetes means you have high blood sugar in your bloodstream, and when you have high blood sugar, that create inflammation in that blood vessel. The blood vessel has this lining, right? It's a lining, and that lining is what protects the blood vessel, and that blood vessel lining becomes leaky, right? That lining becomes leakage, and when it becomes leakage, when there's leakage, there's less nitrous oxide. When there's less nitrous oxide, the blood vessels don't open up as much. It becomes stiff. It becomes leaky. So diabetes kind of that's what how high blood sugar or diabetes cause ED, because you're not getting enough blood flow to the penis. Does that make sense? Yes, yeah. So that's why. So why do I say diet and exercise? Because if you change your diet and be on a Mediterranean diet, right, that lowers your blood sugar. Mediterranean diet is less red meat, focusing on more vegetables and fruit, right? So when you get on the Mediterranean diet, your blood sugar goes down, so diabetes goes away, the blood pressure goes down. Why is that? The blood pressure goes down because you start to lose a little bit of weight, and the blood vessels start to become more flexible again, because the food that you eat is not, it doesn't cause the blood vessel to be leaking as much. So it's all about diet, because remember, ED is a blood flow problem, and the blood flow problem comes from the blood vessels. So, what's in the blood vessel? Your blood. What's in your blood? What you eat. What you eat is what goes in your blood. So, in order to fix the blood vessels, in order to fix the lining of that blood vessel, you have to change your diet. You don't change your diet, the blood vessel isn't going to repair itself. All right? So, what you eat goes into your blood 8 hours later. Right? So you are what you eat, literally. Yeah, your penis is what you eat, literally. So if you eat that in the morning, you eat that pastry, that donut, follow with what I don't know what is that English McMuffin with the sausage and the eggs, and then in the afternoon you eat some French fries with a hamburger. Well, that goes in your blood about 4 to 8 hours later, and that causes, remember, the blood vessel, the lining of the blood vessel, inflammation, cause leakage. So the blood vessel is gonna not be as flexible, and it's gonna start leaking out blood, and that's how you get ED, and that's how you get a blood clot that causes a heart attack. That's how you get a blood clot in the brain that causes a stroke. All right. So, so that's why a diet is so important. Those of you that are my patient, you keep hearing me say, change your diet, because your diet is what is in your blood, and your blood is what fills that blood vessel. All right. Exercise. How does exercise help with blood flow? Well, exercise. When you exercise, your heart rate start to raise, right? Your heart rate start to go up, so your heart starts to pump more. It pumps more blood out, and when it pumps blood out, your blood vessels start to expand more. So even remember I said when you have high blood pressure and it gets stiff. Well, when your blood gets pumped out more, it start to like get a little bit more like flexible. It's like, oh, it's expanding because the heart rate is faster. So you're actually making your blood vessel more flexible, more elastic. That's why when you exercise, your blood pressure goes down. It helps with your blood pressure, right? So exercises kind of help with that flexibility of the blood vessels as well. So diet and exercise is the number one treatment for blood flow restoration. And all right, that's number one. And if you're smoking, you should stop, because when you smoke, the nicotine causes the lining of the blood vessel to become leakage. So the blood vessels start to become leaky. So that's what the nicotine does. All right, and smoking causes the blood vessel damage. Um, and one more thing: diet and exercise and sleep, guys. You know, sleep at least 7 hours at nighttime, between the hours of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And one of the guy asked me, "Oh, what if I work the night shift? If I work the night shift?" And one of my patients actually works from um, um, uh, 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. And he said, "What to do about that?" I get it. Some of you have to work the night shift, and it's work. You got to do what you got to do, but just make sure that you get at least 7 hours of continuous sleep. And you can do blood work to see what your blood sugar is, and what your cholesterol level is, and what your red blood cell count is, and your liver, and your kidney functioning, and your inflammation level. Those of you that are on with me live in TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and on here, I'm going to give you a great hint now. I'll give you a great gem that you can ask your doctor the next time you go get blood work. Ask for a blood work that's called ApoB. A-P like in Paul, O-B like in boy, ApoB test. Okay, what that is a blood work that you can get through the blood. Yeah, it stands for apolipoprotein B test. And what that is, it's a protein that's in your blood that your liver makes, and it binds the bad cholesterol. The bad cholesterol is the LDL and the VLDL. Yeah, LDL, the VLDL is what the doctor measures when they look at your cholesterol. So the apolipoprotein, or ApoB, bind to the bad cholesterol, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So when you measure that in the blood, you know that if it's high, then you know that you are at risk for heart disease, for blood vessel disease, for cardiovascular disease. So it should be below 130. All right, but if it's high, then you go, oh crap, I better do something about it, or I am looking at a heart attack in the future. So this is covered by insurance. So if you have insurance, ask your doctor to get you the ApoB test. And in fact, I'm gonna be talking about this in my podcast episode. It hasn't been released yet. Franz, can you look to see what number we're right now on episode 98? And I think I'm gonna be talking about that in 100 episode, but in the episode 100 or so. No, I mean, maybe 101. But I will talk about it on my podcast, and it will be released in your podcast channel or on YouTube to find out more about it. So if you do blood work, ask for the ApoB test to be done, because that will look directly at your risk of cardiovascular disease, and you can actually look into the future to say, hey, you know what? Am I going to get a heart attack? Am I going to be around? All right. You betcha I had my husband had that done, and his number was great. All right. So and so we episode 102. Episode 102. I talk about the apolipoprotein. It's not published yet. We're right now only on episode 98. But it's the best advice that I'm gonna give you guys right now. It's gonna change your life. Ask that with your doctor that's ordering your blood work. It will change your life. You need to know that number. There's another test that you can do that will look at your risk to see if your blood flow, your risk of blood vessel damage. It's called the calcium coronary scan. Calcium coronary scan. All right. Now that test look at the calcium deposit that is in the blood vessel of your heart. This is your heart, right? And when the calcium is high, it may reflect that you may have blood flow problem in your heart. That's what leads to a heart attack. So that's why my husband had the stent. He had he had an abnormal calcium coronary scan test. Normal it should be less than 100, and his is 1,300, 1,300, and a few months later he required a heart stent. He almost died. But we knew that was his risk factor, so he required a heart stent for that. So two things you need to get is an ApoB test and a calcium coronary scan test. The calcium coronary scan test not covered by insurance, but it costs about 100, 150 for the test. It's totally worth it. It's gonna change your life. The ApoB test could be covered by insurance. If not, it's about $100 for that test, and it's just a blood test at that. And the scan test is a CT scan test when you go to radiology department and you lie down and they measure that for you. Um, so Patrick says, "Can we do blood work through our doctor for you?" Uh, well, yes, you can. You can do blood work, but just know that the blood work I usually order is not covered by insurance because I want to be able to do what's best for you, what is most beneficial for you. Unfortunately, insurance now is so restrictive. It restricts everything, and sometimes it require authorization. I don't want to work with that type of restriction. I want to be able to order the blood work that predict your risk factor for heart disease and for heart attack and why you have ED. And so that's why I work outside of the insurance boundaries because I want to be able to have the independence of treating you and not be dictated by what the insurance says that you're allowed to do. All right. We have a flawed healthcare system in the U.S. That tell doctor that people are sitting in the desk that not doctor tell doctor what they're allowed and not allowed to do, and that's not fair for you guys at all. But that's another discussion at this point. But the main point is that I order comprehensive blood work that will look at the sixth system, that will determine what system is out of balance, so that way we can focus our effort in resetting the sixth system, so that way we can restore your blood flow again. So that's how we're able to restore your sex life naturally without medication or surgery um, at this time. Okay. It's not some gimmick. It's not some supplement, and it's not at all. So Patrick asks, what agency can you recommend to do your comprehensive blood work? LabCorp. LabCorp is where, and you can get this at at Quest laboratory as well. But LabCorp is where I recommend you do the blood work, and I have a list of the blood work that I order. And I will tell you, one of my patients who came to see me, he said, he went to get the blood work that I order, and he tells me that the phlebotomist or the person that draws blood been working in the lab for 40 years. And she said this is the most comprehensive blood work she's ever seen, that she's ever done on him. She said, your doctor knows what she's doing because she worked for 40 years and she's never seen any doctor order such comprehensive blood work as I do. All right. And most of the time that they're gonna get out from like 12 to 15 little tubes for you, because when I order blood work, I look from your head down to your penis, and I look at all the system that is contributing to why you have ED. And that's the only way for us to treat ED. It's from the inside out, right? You have to treat it from the inside out and reset it. It's like almost like going to the outlet and just pushing that reset button again. It can be done. You just don't know about it. That's all. Because all your whole life, you've been told take Viagra, take Cialis. All right, that's what you should do when you have ED. But has anyone ever sat down and say, you have ED? Let's find out why you have ED. Let's do some blood work, Patrick. Let's do some blood work, G. Let's do some blood work, Stephen. You have ED. Let's find out why you have ED. Instead of writing you a quick prescription for Viagra or Cialis to here. It's like, it's the same thing as, it's the same thing as, when you have, let's say chest pain. You have chest pain and the doctor's, quick medication here. Instead of trying to find out, how you can, well, reverse some of your cardiac problem. It really all come down to diet and exercise, because diet is what's what in the blood and what fills that blood vessel. I hope you understand that, because it's so critical to know that. And it sounds cliche, right? It really does. I sound like a record, like everybody else. What you eat a healthy diet. It helps for everything. But it is the truth. Sometimes something as complex as ED will be fixed with something as simple as changing your diet. I can't tell you how many patients that I work with that all they do is just changing their diet by just quitting drinking sodas, just quitting eating pastries every day, eating potato chips, eating that's every day, and eating ice cream every day. All right, just stop eating that every day. What happened is that once they start doing that, within 3 weeks they notice they're having morning erection again. This is before any treatment. They start to notice they're having morning erection, and then we would get the blood work, and after changing their diet, within about 6 weeks to 2 months, you see the blood work, you see the testosterone level gets higher, and you start seeing the blood sugar goes down, and the cholesterol level goes down. Those of you that are my patient, that when you come and see me, that I measure those blood work carefully, and just a simple change of dropping that donut and that soda, and that potato chips every day will go a long way. But you don't know unless I tell you, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? Think about that. You don't know what you don't know unless somebody tell you, and then you realize, oh, okay, that makes sense. So if you're on here with me, do one thing. Maybe look at your diet and say, okay, am I drinking soda every day? Am I eating that donut every day? Am I, eating that ice cream every day? Am I eating French fries every day? Maybe I just cut the one out. We'll see what happens. You'll be surprised. You will be very surprised if you just make that change. You may notice some stirring. All right, because and I've seen it in thousands of my patients as well too. And imagine your ED. Your ED is it's like a car, right? When you first start to have ED, now it's like an engine light that goes off in your car. What are you gonna do, right? You're gonna bring it by the mechanic. Is it your car, right? Your car, you're gonna bring by a mechanic and get it fixed, or you're gonna drive that car until it smokes and it blows up on the, and then you can't drive it anymore. That's what you're doing with ED. When you have ED, you just ignore it. You just don't bring it to the mechanic. You just ignore it, and you try to treat it yourself through online, or you try to take ED medication, and after 5 to 10 years, it doesn't work anymore. It's like driving that car, and it breaks down on the road for you, and then by the time you bring it by the mechanic, it's so broken it may not be fixed anymore. But I can tell you, I've worked with men that had prostate surgery and that had ED. I work with an 80-year-old guy that has 17 years of ED, and we're able to restore him again. And he's having sex 3 to 5 times a week, right? And those of you that are not 80, and you should be having sex at least 3 to 5 times a week, right? If my 80-year-old guy can have sex 3 to 5 times a week, so should you, right? That's your par. The par should be 3 times a week. But if you're having it 5 times a week, that's even better. All right. So, having said that, I don't see any more questions. France, are there any more questions from anywhere else at all? I see Fazou, I see Neem, I see Vivian, Campan, and Chanel joining me on TikTok here. Having said that, thank you for being here. And I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me on this live broadcast. Thank you for joining me on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And you guys have a great weekend. And know that you can live a happy, and you can live more, you can love more, and you can have the life that you want again. Take care.